Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. Lessons for Life from Swami Jagdatmananji's inspiring book, Learn to Live. In this section, Swami Jagdatmananji discusses the miraculous effect of regular practice, the important role our habits play in our life, and how our character is molded. Now let us listen to Swami Jagdatmananji himself on the miracle of practice. In his book called Self-Help, Samuel Smiles gives an interesting example of Robert Peel. Peel's father was keen on teaching him the art of public speech. As a child, Robert Peel was often brought to the stage and asked to speak. For instance, he was asked to repeat the sermon he heard in church the previous Sunday. Initially, there appeared to be no progress. But gradually, with steady effort, he cultivated extraordinary power of attention and concentration. He could repeat, without the help of any notes, long speeches, wholly without omitting a word and without an error. Later in Parliament, when he could reply to several questions in perfect sequence, everybody was filled with wonder at his extraordinary memory. Not everybody knew that he had carefully cultivated this habit from his childhood at the insistence of his father. Before the advent of the art of reading and writing, Indians had mastered the art of committing to memory scriptures like the Vedas, Upanishads, and thousands of hymns, and of bequeathing this treasure of language and literature to posterity without a single error of commission or omission. Though there is some monotony in this exercise of memorizing, it is nevertheless an indisputable example of the remarkable power that one can acquire with the help of regular practice. The remarkable feats performed by people trained in the circus are concrete examples of the miraculous power and accomplishments that can be achieved by regular practice and exercise. And so, if a man witnesses a circus performance for a while, he is sure to be filled with a sense of enthusiasm and cheerfulness. But a new habit cannot be acquired merely with the help of intention. Constant and steady practice is needed to nourish and strengthen it. You are what your habits are. In all walks of human life, the habits relating to the formation of thoughts, emotions, and actions play an important role. It is habits which mold personality or harm it. If we continually do something good or bad for a sufficiently long time, it influences our mind and our nervous system so strongly that the habit becomes a part of our nature and is carried out like our involuntary actions. A retired soldier was walking on the road carrying a load of grocery on his head. A mischievous boy had seen him walk on the road several times. One day, when the soldier was walking absent-mindedly along the road by the side of a ditch, the boy shouted aloud, "Attention!" The moment the retired soldier heard the word attention, he dropped his arms, which were until then supporting a bundle, stood erect, and was about to offer a salute. The bundle on his head fell into the ditch, and the things within were scattered helter-skelter. Before he became aware of the mischief, the incident had taken place. As he had long been subjected to military exercises, his mind acted mechanically and spontaneously at a mere suggestion. Many are not aware of the tremendous controlling power of habits. It is habits that act as obstructions to us escaping from complicated or embarrassing situations. Every day, without our own knowledge, we try to adapt to our place and environment. Observe those who have the habit of smoking a cigarette after breakfast. Suppose there is no stock of cigarettes in their pocket. They don't mind even walking 2 miles to a shop in order to buy cigarettes. Of course, we need not mean only bad habits when we refer to habits. All kinds of habits control the individual and mold his personality with their powerful influence. Our achievements, ideas, contradictions, tastes and acquisitions, love and hate, anger and anxiety, secrets and deceits, pride and self-esteem, inclinations and tendencies, sarcasm and mockeries, all these are the habits that we have gathered from our surroundings, consciously or unconsciously. There is an adage in English about the difficulty of freeing oneself from an ingrained habit. Even if you remove the first letter H from it, a bit remains. If the letter A is removed, bit remains. If B is removed, it remains. Do you now realize how strong the effect of habit is? The moulder of character. Every action of ours might resemble a wave moving on the surface of a lake, which appears for a while and then disappears. But our thoughts and feelings and the actions that we do produce impressions on the mind, which may seem to be erased after some time, but really produce permanent marks in the deeper layers of the mind, which are called samskaras, impressions in Sanskrit. Hundreds of such samskaras formulate our conduct and character. There is a saying in English, habit is the second nature of man. If we think deeply, we realize that habit is at the very base of human nature. Conduct or character is nothing but fashioned will, was the definition given by John Stuart Mill. The will is nothing but the sum total of thoughts, inspiring action. If they are expressed in a definite, regular, constructive manner, you can say that his character is steady. Don't dub any person useless, because he represents a character. In other words, he is a bundle of habits. Forms of habits can be conquered with the help of newly acquired useful habits. Conduct is the sum of repeated habits. We can reform conduct only by means of repeated actions meant for the intended reformation. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.